Hello to the Venture Cafe, and today we have a very special guest. We have Mark Mone, and he's the Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin. So welcome to the Venture Cafe. It's your first time here, right?
It isn't my first time. Thank you, Horst. I'm delighted to be here.
That's awesome. So how does one become the Chancellor of a university?
I think in my case, it happened to be just a great fortune to have been at the right place at the right time. I've been on the faculty of WUWM-Milwaukee for 25 years,
wow.
But for the last 4 years serving in the Chancellor's office as the Chancellor's designee.
What's your area of expertise? What classes were you teaching?
Faculty background and executive ed work that I've been doing is around pretty much any area in the management realm: organizational management, performance management, strategic planning, looking at a number of different types of things around coaching and counseling, doing a lot of consulting with organizations.
Who else do you want to be then the Chancellor of a prestigious university? Now, but you came here to the Venture Cafe for a very specific reason. So what were the pull factors that got you here?
We are experiencing in Milwaukee some real needs to enhance the entrepreneurial innovation climate. We are quite low in the Midwest, and particularly Milwaukee, in terms of the research and development expenditures, the entrepreneurial startup types of firms, the angel investment to those firms, and we know that thriving regions have a great dependency. There's a wonderful relationship. If you look at the role of universities, higher education can play a huge part. So we came to Venture Cafe and larger CIC to look at one end of the spectrum in terms of how does innovation work? What is the climate? What's the ecosystem that you've created? Why is this known globally as being the place to look at, the place to come and understand how innovation climates really thrive? This is part of a larger visit that we've spent starting yesterday, really looking at some of the different areas around Boston, Cambridge, University of Massachusetts, Lowell, Greentown Labs, some of the sites that we've been visiting and immersing ourselves in, having conversations. And our team has really found a number of wonderful examples of things that seem to be working very effectively.
Okay, so describe a little bit more about what's going on in Milwaukee right now in the entrepreneurial scene. What are the opportunities that Milwaukee should have that you see that are currently missing?
I'll answer that maybe in two ways. One is at the university level, and then more broadly in the business community. We have, like Boston area, we have a high concentration, density, if you will, of higher education institutions. We have in southeastern Wisconsin alone, 183,000 students in college in 21 higher education institutions in 7 counties. This is out of a population, the SMSA or Statistical Metropolitan size grouping. This is out of a population of about 1.2 million and 183,000 college students.
Right.
Many of whom want to be entrepreneurial, many of whom want to have opportunities to stay in that area, not necessarily work for the largest companies, but really make a difference. And then, of course, as we know, the economic impact of startups and job growth creation, we really need to move that up. So universities have not very systematic and very strong entrepreneurial programs compared to what they could. And so the question is, how do we enhance the work that we're doing, in particular my institution, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where similarly we are disaggregated, we are decentralized. We have wonderful things happening in engineering, wonderful programs, certificates, startup challenges in the business school, great things happening in fine arts and College of Health Science. But we don't have as much synergy across those units as we could. We don't have enough infrastructure and organization, and we're on the verge of having a major philanthropic opportunity to help support entrepreneurship. And so it's really in that context that we're saying we can have a huge impact, and our donors are coming to us and saying, we think this is big, and University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee can form the nucleus, and we can help organize an array of entrepreneurial innovation cafes, a number of things that we can do. And so what we're trying to do is create and understand, first of all, the framework. Student engagement, faculty engagement, incentives, space, curriculum, community, what are the right types of resources to bring in from the community, and then when you start talking about commercialization, technology transfer, legal aspects, financials, all of those pieces, how do we create the infrastructure, how is it managed, how does the Chancellor's office oversee, and how does the work of the different deans and the provosts, so that's where we're at, is exploration, but with very clear intent. Increase entrepreneurial activity through merging the students and faculty and that energy and the intellectual talents with business applications. Business being a large, broad term for what also may in fact include healthcare, nonprofit, social entrepreneurship, a number of, the entire facet, but basically the broader communities.
First of all, it's just wonderful to see how the University of Wisconsin seeks to have a leadership role in the Renaissance to bring entrepreneurship back to a very old tradition in America, opportunity with entrepreneurship, etc., to bring it back to Wisconsin, and that one is beautiful. Now, you seem to have, this is now a very strong ideas how you want to do it even before you came here. Where do you have a strong entrepreneurial background yourself, or where do these concepts coming from?
The framework that where I'm coming from is having been in a business school environment for 25 plus years, being in an academic administrative perspective for almost 20 years, but also having private industry background for 11 years before getting into higher ed. So I've worked a lot in the private sector. I've seen how different models work, how they don't work. And I don't have, I would describe my framework as one that's very open to new experiences, and I don't have too much preordained at this point.
Right, let me rephrase the question. What was your inspiration to pick up the flag for entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. I think that it's based on two things. One is the need in the community, and as a university that wants to truly be engaged as part of our strategic plan, which we have a new strategic plan that really has as one of its key thrusts to make a difference. We have a campus vision which is to be a top-tier research university that is a best place to learn and work and be a driver of sustainable prosperity. Entrepreneurship is a key area in which we can do that. Another piece of this, and one of the unique elements that we want to build in, is not just startups, not just the initial thinking, but also issues of going to scale for existing concerns. So we're blessed with 6 Fortune 500 companies that are very much rooted and comfortable in Milwaukee, and they have come to us and they will tell you that we would rather help sponsor competition among students for 50 or 100 different students working in 6, 10, or 12 teams than giving that same amount of money if they fund a competition, 25, 50, or 100,000, to sponsor programs for a year, compared to giving it to 2 engineers in their particular company that they might cost to do that. They'll find more creativity, great ideas. So we've got to pull from large companies, we've got to pull because the community needs it, and to pick that flag up, to really answer your question, we see this as a central mission, something that makes a huge difference. And the engaged university is a powerful mechanism. If we look at in Boston, Route 128 and beyond, if we look in University of Texas, Austin, if we look in Silicon Valley, but then globally, same types of things in Berlin, in numerous major global areas. You see, the Stockholm in Sweden, how higher education is harnessed to make a great difference in the economy. So that's really the thinking. And as a new chancellor, I am able to really try to bring some focus and energy to that. Full disclosure, I'm interim chancellor. I hope to be the permanent chancellor, but that's left to higher powers to determine.
Of course. But we have, it sounds like you have a great vision for the University of Wisconsin.
Thank you.
And this one. But let's talk about the Venture Cafe and the Cambridge Innovation Center. What did you learn here today?
I learned, first of all, I have to tell you, the energy is remarkable. I'm so impressed by it. But what I've learned is there's not one best way to do this. I've also learned that it's been wonderful to spend some time with Ranch Kimball, individuals like yourself and others who've really told the story that you know less is more, less structure, really providing an environment that is helpful. So you put in place these different resources and support, and then get out of the way. Venture Cafe has specifically a wonderful model where you have the space that's right, you have the expertise from so many diverse individuals, from government representatives, what we have today, to individuals who are walking through. People will say, I'm only here for 10 minutes, and I notice they're here for an hour. Individuals who are making connections. There's joviality, there's energy, lots of different things. People are here, and that's a magnet. These are folks that have, many of them, day jobs. The folks that are coming in, they're here for a reason. And so this magnetism is about the space and the energy. The other thing that I've learned, both through Venture Cafe, the time I've spent at the Innovation, Cambridge Innovation Center, and the other visits, is you can't overstructure this. If you do, you'll suppress a lot of the creativity and innovation. And not just as industry maybe do that, which is why I think we see at Battelle here, or why we see other companies that have come in here to create that openness and space. But I think that it's empowering and liberating to let go. And Venture Cafe is a great example of where you've got some structure, so people know what they're coming into, but then just let it go. And it's a wonderful thing. It's unusual, it's unorthodox, and I think that's probably part of the secret that's going on here. So I like that.
I think your first visit, you captured it pretty well.
Great.
On this one. Well, thank you so much for being on the Venture Cafe podcast. And last question. If somebody wants to continue the conversation with you and learn more about the University of Wisconsin, how can they get a hold of you?
I'd recommend, first of all, let me tell you, thank you, Horst. I enjoyed the conversation, your structure and questions. Nice getting to talk with you. My contact information is Mone at UWM.edu, and Mone is MONE at UWM.edu. My phone, if anyone is interested, is 414-229-4331, and we'd love to have further conversation and welcome any suggestions you have for a university that is the largest state public urban research university in the state of Wisconsin, with 28,000 students, that really is looking to continue to make a great difference in the region.